Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of Snakes on a Train. It's a action, came out in 2006, it's a 15, it's an hour and 31 minutes, IMDb is 2.2 out of 10, I watched it on YouTube so I'll give you the link as well. The IMDb synopsis is: a zombie curse is placed upon a woman, which causes her to have living snakes inside her. Brujo, who is looking after her, attempts to take her to Los Angeles on the train. After several confrontations on the train, Brujo's collection of snakes manages to separate themselves from the owner and go on the hunt. Whilst all this is happening, normal, everyday passengers are relaxing. What is unknown to them is that something deadly is heading their way, and there's no way out. So the director is Peter Mervis, M-E-R-V-I-S, who directed When a Killer Calls. Producers, well, there's 6 of them, so I picked the main 2. We have David Michael Latt, who produced Black Summer, the series, and Sherry Strain, who produced First Christmas. Music was by Mel Lewis, who did Creed 2. The cast, pick the main ones as usual. We have Stephen A.F. Day, D-A-Y, who was the conductor, who was in House on the Hill. Giovanni Bejarano, B-E-J-A-R-A-N-O, who was Miguel, who was in Marigold and Matador. Julia Ruiz, who was Alma, who was in the series Graffiti. Al Galvez, who was Julio, not Bruno. It's bizarre, I'll tell you that in a minute. Who was in South Beach, the series. Shannon Gale Hurd, H-U-R-D, who was Summer, who was in the number 23, and Amelia Jackson Gray, who was Crystal, who was in The Campaign. It was filmed in Lancaster and Santa Clarita in California, USA. And it's also known as From Train to Dust and Snake Hell. So just there, what you said is the it says Brujo, but Julio is also mentioned a lot of the time in it as well. So I don't know where Brujo comes from. I think I know who Brujo was, but it wasn't the guy that I was looking at, if that makes any sense. Let me just double check. Pretty sure. Oh, who knows? So we've all seen, or maybe you haven't, Snakes on a Plane. So this is Snakes on a Train. It's an asylum film, hence the title. Starts with a desert in the USA, I think. There's some dudes carrying a woman. Well, he's kind of walking her. She looks dead to the world. But then it turns out it's the Mexican border because they just sort of climb through a fence. Awesome. They're speaking Mexican, and I was watching it on YouTube, so of course I had no clue what they were saying. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be like this. It turns out no, it's not. Thank God. So from what I can gather from what they're saying, even though they're speaking Mexican, she's possessed or something. He's doing a ritual now, and she's vomiting green jelly chunks, as in, you know, the jelly that you would make if you were making a set jelly, that kind of stuff. And then a small grass snake just pops out of her mouth. It's pretty impressive, I must admit. And like I say, these 2 are the only 2 that speak Mexican, as it were. So stroke of luck. They get on a train. They weren't going on a train originally. They were going to go somewhere, but I think going by some other means. Because then they ended up going on a train. They happened to get into a random carriage, and Alma meets an old childhood friend. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? So they're all getting on the train, not these ones, but the passengers, right? And we're getting to see everybody as they're coming on. Everyone's speaking, you know, getting their characters into thing. There's no music, right? And all of a sudden, this guy with a beard gets on, like a kind of unsavory type of guy, because before it was like this. Then when he got on, it was that kind of music, and then when we panned off him, it was it's like So the Mexicans can speak perfect English eventually. They don't speak it originally back when they were in Mexico, sort of on the border, or to anyone else, but they speak it perfect English. Are they speaking perfect English to everyone else? No, they're speaking to themselves in perfect English. Even though they're Mexican and they were speaking Mexican, I'm assuming they were Mexican, I don't know. I apologise if you hear my cat in a few minutes. He's driving me up the wall. The little turd has been basically meowing every single hour for the past 3 days, and I want to kill him. I'm not going to, obviously, but you know what I mean. It's just that. Like I say, I don't know why they couldn't have spoken back and forth like that in the desert, so I could have actually understood what the hell was going on. Watching a fight scene is pretty good, but I'm kind of curious, right? They're in the, between carriages, and you have the door that opens to go to the, if you were to leave the train, and you can see the conductor putting up the doors in the first place. But for some bizarre reason, the doors are basically wide open, but they didn't open them. I mean, I don't know anyone who would. But the way the snakes go onto the train is not what I was expecting. It's an interesting concept. Obviously, because I don't read the synopses before, and I didn't even know what the hell was going on in the first place. Now, there's a kid on the film called Lola Forsberg who's playing Lani. I say kid, I don't know how old she is now. I mean, this was, what, 2006, and she was born in 1999, so there you go. And she's using this bathroom on the train, and it's large. I mean, huge. There's a double sink. There's loads of space. You can probably, the famous phrase, swing a cat. I can guarantee you could. Now, our trains are completely pokey. Even the ones in Europe, I've been, over Europe. I've been backpacking through Europe. And when you go on their trains, they're quite pokey, You turn around and you sort of slam against the wall or something. But no, in this one, no, it's absolutely huge. Maybe that's what they like in America, I don't know. So Crystal, and I'm kind of guessing at this point it was the girlfriend, which was Summer, talking. The reason why is because they say about this is going to set us up for life. It turns out that Crystal is a bit naive. So Mark, no idea who that is. Think, because it's back from home, has given her like $5,000, like he does, and a package to take from Mexico to LA. And she said, it's okay, because once a month we can make loads of money. And at this point, she didn't even know what she was carrying. It was like, what the hell? Good grief. Right, so I saw this snake, this small one, go into this guy's wrist. Kind of like in the vein, as it were, but inside the inside part of your wrist, if you know what I mean. Then his friend's there, but he solves that by digging in with his knife. Right, digs his artery. I'm surprised he didn't die at this point. To pull out the snake, but then the snake then turns on to him and attacks him. Now the special effects were pretty good, and then Julio appeared to dig it out, which was good. Now, as it's a train film, I was waiting for the famous person to walk on the roof, because it happens in all train films. And yes, they do. Somebody walks on the roof. I thought, yep, good. Because nobody can really trip over in a train, but I was waiting for somebody to walk on it. So, there were some stowaways originally. And one of the stowaways is in a bad way. The snake went to his arm. This is the guy that got the in his wrist, well, the other person. And he just vomited this green jelly again, but it hit the camera. Like there was a screen or something, and it hit the camera and slid down. I was assuming there was not supposed to be anybody there, and it was kind of like vomiting and then dropped down, but he just like hit the camera full on, and it was just like, I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to have happened. Maybe it was. Bloody hell, these snakes, right? They started off really tiny, and they're huge now, absolutely huge. Like I said, they started off grass snakes, and they're like huge anaconda type things. They're massive. And then this Crystal, when she starts screaming, it sounds weird. It's not full on, but partial, like It's like, my God, it sounds like my cat first thing in the morning. Trust me, I know what he sounds like every bloody morning. He wakes me up, not as an alarm clock, but 4 o'clock. God save me. Now, what I like about non-box office films, as in low-rated films, is it allow anyone to be attacked? I'm not going to say who. Pretty much guaranteed who you can think of on this one, because most box office, I'll just throw out a name or two: Brad Pitt, Cruise, I don't know, Jolie or whatever her name is. It wouldn't happen because they go, oh, we can't do that, PC and all that business. And then Crystal's still doing that weird screaming. It's driving me nuts. Now, I was getting most of this film. It was all kind of making sense, even though snakes were large. Right? It was like, okay, I'm getting into this film. And then the end happened. And all I can say is how. You'll see the trailer. I think it's in the trailer. I can't remember. And it's just like, what? But that doesn't even make sense. How does that even happen? I'm not explaining how, because as in what happened with the snake and stuff, but even if it's in the trailer, because it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. Physically, that does not make any sense. Anyway, it was okay for me. It was a bit more gorier than the plane one, believe it or not, because the plane one's more like, I don't know. There was some bits, but obviously, it's a top budget movie. You're paying more for the people. But yeah, I'm giving it a 5 for me. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of Snakes on a Train. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of other film reviews, quite a lot of Asylum now. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Leave a comment below. Have you seen this? Did you enjoy it? Have you seen Snakes on a Plane and thought, well, is this going to be the sequel? Yeah. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.